Hi, good afternoon. This is a good project to be doing. It means the semester's almost over, and for me, it means my school forever is almost over. So I'm excited to be doing it. So anyway, I chose an article from the Strategic Finance magazine. It's called "The Principles of Healthy Managerial Costing." So that seemed like it applied to me. But when I first read it, I thought maybe it would have something more to do with what the principles are, but it doesn't really actually discuss those very much. It maybe discusses more what is hindering that and kind of the challenges that are being faced for managerial costing right now. There was a survey done by this magazine in 2012 that showed that there's kind of an eroding state of, I guess, these principles and managerial costing implementation. And there's just like this decline in practices. There wasn't as much innovation. There wasn't as the management wasn't showing the skills that or kind of the adequacy that they should be able to. And so this was kind of a problem, right? I guess to summarize, the challenges that they found from this survey were that there's kind of like planning and analytical tools that were replacing cost accounting and cost modeling. There was some financial accounting issues seem to be more important and just addressed before cost accounting issues were. All the tools that all these like new tools and technology weren't being used. There's a lot more software and just ability to track cost information, and it was kind of fallen by the wayside. I think I mentioned this, just kind of inadequate skills of management, like controllers and CFOs, and then also like accounting curriculum and so in universities and just what people were learning wasn't updated the way that it should be. And so those things together kind of made that issue, right? The Institute of Management Accountants, so the IMA, they formed like a task force to kind of address this, to encourage managerial or management accounting. They created this task force and, they worked and did some things, but that was just kind of a start, right? It didn't just creating it didn't really solve a lot of issues. And we can kind of see that. So since they created that task force in the early 2010s, there hasn't been all that much change. So this is just something the article discusses, of course, that management seems like they're really just a lot more management of companies and of the people that were surveyed just seemed like they're a lot more interested in cost reduction rather than coming up with good data, good information, good cost information and like tracking and everything that we've been talking about in this class so far. And so CFOs this makes sense because management, they want the profit, right? They want to reduce costs and see higher profits. And that's fine, but over time, it starts to become kind of a pattern. And as management doesn't seek this cost information, their way to track it and their cost accuracy and transparency really suffers. And so it's not as good because they're just not paying attention to it. And CFOs and controllers, another problem with them is they're looking at financial reporting metrics, GAAP metrics. And sometimes that's a little bit butts heads a little bit with our management accounting. And so really when we're talking about solutions here, what are our principles, our healthy cost accounting principles? We don't talk about what those are, but we do know that this idea that the IMA is championing isn't really being followed. And maybe we just need to look at some of the best practices in industry and do what they're doing, try new things. If we're in that position, Don't be timid. Don't just be stuck in one way of thinking. Anyway, this is just kind of some of the ideas that we learned here and that the article talked through. So thanks.